Добро пожаловать на мой канал, где мы учим русский язык вместе. Hello everyone, I am Eugene, and I'm learning Russian. One of the best ways to help with pronunciation is to learn simple stories, like fairy tales. So today I will be reading a very old Russian fairy tale called Rепка, the Little Turnip. It is an adapted story from the Grimm's fairy tale about a giant turnip. More than likely, it was collected by Alexander Nikolaevich Afanasyev in the 1850s. Alexander was a Russian Slavist and ethnographer who published nearly 600 Russian fairy and folk tales, which is one of the largest collections of folklore in the world, earning him the reputation as being the Russian counterpart to the Brothers Grimm. I will first read it in Russian and then again in English. Вы готовы? Хорошо. Давайте начнем. Русская народная сказка «Репка». Посадил дед репку. Выросла репка большая, прибольшая. Пошел дед репку рвать. Тянет, потянет, вытянуть не может. Позвал дед бабку. Бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала бабка внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала внучка жучку, жучка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала жучка кошку, кошка за жучку, жучка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, вытянуть не могут. Позвала кошка мышку, мышка за кошку, кошка за жучку, жучка за внучку, внучка за бабку, бабка за детку, детка за репку. Тянут, потянут, тянут, потянут, вытянули репку. A Russian fairy tale called The Little Turnip. The grandpa planted a turnip. The turnip grew bigger and bigger. The grandpa went to pick the turnip. He pulled and pulled, but could not pull it out. Then the grandpa called the grandma. The grandma held on to the grandpa, and the grandpa held on to the turnip. They pulled and pulled, but they could not pull it out. Then the grandma called the granddaughter. The granddaughter held on to the grandma. The grandma held on to the grandpa. And the grandpa held on to the turnip. They pulled and pulled, but they could not pull it out. Then the granddaughter called Zhuchka, their dog. The dog held on to the granddaughter. The granddaughter held on to the grandma. The grandma held on to the grandpa. And the grandpa held on to the turnip. They pulled and pulled, but they could not pull it out. Then the dog called the cat. The cat held on to the dog. The dog held on to the granddaughter. The granddaughter held on to the grandma. The grandma held on to the grandpa. And the grandpa held on to the turnip. They pulled and pulled, but they could not pull it out. Then the cat called the mouse. The mouse held on to the cat. The cat held on to the dog. The dog held on to the granddaughter. The granddaughter held on to the grandma. The grandma held on to the grandpa. And the grandpa held on to the turnip. They pulled and pulled. They pulled and pulled, and at last they pulled the turnip out. If you liked this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I hope that this will be helpful to you in learning Russian or English, whichever the case. And please, I encourage you to leave me a comment and any corrections if need be, so that everyone may benefit. Have a good day, and I will see you in the other videos. До встречи!